Welcome. Today, we're exploring The Social Animal by Elliot Aronson, a book that provides a fascinating deep dive into human psychology, social influence, and the forces that shape our behavior. Have you ever wondered why people conform to group norms, even when they know something is wrong? Or why we justify our decisions, even when they don't make logical sense? The Social Animal answers these questions using real-life examples and scientific experiments, making psychology both understandable and applicable to everyday life. At its core, this book helps us understand human nature, why we think the way we do, how we make decisions, and what drives our interactions with others. Aronson uses classic psychological studies to uncover the hidden forces at play in our social world. Whether it's peer pressure, persuasion, prejudice, or even kindness, every aspect of our behavior has deep psychological roots. In this summary, we'll break down the book's key insights in a simple and relatable way. No complicated jargon, just practical explanations with real-world examples that will help you understand yourself and others better. Let's get started. One of the central ideas in The Social Animal is that humans are inherently social creatures. Our thoughts, behaviors, and even beliefs are shaped by the people around us, often in ways we don't consciously realize. Whether it's following trends, adopting the opinions of a group, or simply mirroring others' actions, social influence plays a crucial role in shaping our everyday lives. Think about a time when you were in a crowded event, like a concert or a speech. When a few people start clapping, the rest of the audience often follows. This happens not because everyone suddenly decides the performance was amazing at the same time, but because humans have a natural tendency to conform. This is a simple example of how we are influenced by the actions of those around us, often without questioning why we're doing something. Solomon Asch's conformity experiment, a classic study. A powerful experiment that illustrates social influence is Solomon Asch's conformity study. In this study, participants were placed in a group with actors who were secretly instructed to give incorrect answers to a simple question about line lengths. The task was straightforward. Participants were shown a standard line and asked to pick the matching line from a set of 3 options. The correct answer was obvious. However, when the actors in the group unanimously chose the wrong line, the real participants often conformed and chose the same incorrect answer, even though they knew it was wrong. This experiment revealed the immense power of peer pressure. People were willing to ignore their own judgment just to fit in with the group. Why do we conform? There are 2 main reasons why people conform. Normative social influence, the desire to fit in and be accepted by others. We fear being judged, ridiculed, or left out, so we go along with the group even if we disagree. Informational social influence, the assumption that others might know better. If multiple people say something different from what we believe, we start to doubt ourselves and assume they must be right. For example, imagine you're in a restaurant with a group of friends. You initially want to order a burger, but everyone else orders a salad. You might suddenly feel pressure to change your choice, either to blend in, normative influence, or because you start to wonder if the salad is actually the better option, informational influence. Real-world implications of social influence. The power of social influence extends beyond small everyday decisions. It shapes political opinions, social movements, and even historical events. From fashion trends to mass protests, people's behaviors are often dictated by what they see others doing. This explains how entire societies can be swayed by propaganda, misinformation, or peer pressure. A classic example of this is seen in social media trends. When a new challenge or hashtag starts gaining traction, millions of people join in simply because they see others doing it. The fear of missing out, FOMO, and the desire to be part of a group drive people to participate, even if they don't fully understand why they are doing it. Key takeaway. Social influence is an invisible force that shapes our decisions and behaviors every day. Whether we realize it or not, we are constantly adjusting our actions based on the people around us. Understanding this can help us make more conscious choices, resist harmful peer pressure, and recognize when we're being influenced without our awareness. Have you ever made a decision that didn't quite sit right with you, but instead of admitting you were wrong, you found a way to justify it? Maybe you told yourself a comforting story to ease the discomfort. This is a classic example of cognitive dissonance, a powerful psychological concept explored in The Social Animal. Cognitive dissonance occurs when a person holds 2 conflicting beliefs or when their actions contradict their values or knowledge. This creates an uncomfortable mental state, and in response, people try to resolve this tension, often by adjusting their beliefs rather than changing their behavior. The mental struggle of contradictory beliefs. Let's say you consider yourself an environmentally conscious person. You strongly believe in reducing plastic waste. However, one day, you forget your reusable bottle and end up buying a plastic water bottle. Instead of admitting that you acted against your values, your brain finds a way to rationalize it. It was just this one time. At least I recycle, so it's okay. It's not my fault, they didn't have any reusable options. These justifications help reduce the uncomfortable feeling of acting against one's own beliefs. Instead of acknowledging the contradiction, the mind twists the narrative to make the action seem reasonable. A classic experiment, Festinger and Carl Smith, 1959. Psychologists Leon Festinger and James Carl Smith conducted a groundbreaking study to demonstrate cognitive dissonance. In their experiment, participants were asked to complete a boring task, turning pegs on a board. Afterward, they were asked to lie to the next participant and say the task was enjoyable. Here's where it gets interesting: some participants were paid $1 to lie, while others were paid $20. Later, when asked how much they actually enjoyed the task, those who were paid only $1 rated it as more enjoyable than those paid $20. Why? Because $1 wasn't enough money to justify lying. These participants experienced cognitive dissonance. They felt uncomfortable about lying for such a small reward. To resolve the mental conflict, they convinced themselves that the task wasn't actually that bad. In contrast, those paid $20 had a clear external justification, the money, so they didn't feel the need to change their perception of the task. This experiment showed that when people don't have a strong external reason for their behavior, they are more likely to change their internal attitudes to justify their actions. Everyday examples of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance happens in many areas of life. Here are some common examples. Buying an expensive phone. Imagine you spend a lot of money on a new smartphone. A few days later, you discover that a cheaper model has better features. Instead of admitting you made a poor financial decision, you might convince yourself, well, my phone's brand is more reliable. This phone has better security, so it's worth it. The camera is slightly better, so I made the right choice. This helps you avoid the discomfort of realizing you may have wasted money. Smoking despite knowing it's harmful. A smoker is fully aware that smoking causes serious health risks. But quitting is difficult, and continuing to smoke contradicts their knowledge. To reduce the mental discomfort, they might justify their habit by saying, lots of people smoke and live long lives. I only smoke socially, so it's not that bad. I'm too stressed to quit right now. Instead of quitting, they adjust their beliefs to align with their behavior. Cheating in a relationship or exam. A person who cheats on a test or in a relationship may feel guilty because it goes against their values. To reduce this guilt, they might say, everyone cheats a little. It wasn't a big deal. I had no choice, the situation forced me to do it. This justification helps them maintain a positive self-image. Why does this happen? Cognitive dissonance happens because our brain wants to maintain consistency in our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. When there's a contradiction, it creates psychological discomfort, and we are motivated to reduce this discomfort by either changing our beliefs, maybe smoking isn't that bad. Changing our behavior, I will quit smoking. Adding a justification, I only smoke on weekends. How to use this knowledge to improve your life. Understanding cognitive dissonance can help you make better decisions and recognize when you're justifying unhealthy behaviors. Instead of making excuses, try asking yourself, am I making this choice because I truly believe it's right, or am I just avoiding discomfort? Am I rationalizing my decision to protect my ego? What would happen if I admitted I was wrong? By being aware of cognitive dissonance, you can challenge your own justifications and make more honest, growth-oriented choices. Final thought. Cognitive dissonance is a powerful force that shapes our decisions, beliefs, and actions. While it can protect our self-esteem, it can also lead us to justify harmful behaviors. The more aware we are of this mental process, the better we can make decisions that align with reality rather than just our comfort. Every day, we are surrounded by persuasion. Whether we realize it or not, someone is always trying to influence our opinions, decisions, or beliefs. be it through advertisements, political speeches, social media influencers, or even personal conversations. The social animal dives deep into the psychology of persuasion, explaining why some messages are highly effective while others fail to change minds. Understanding persuasion isn't just about recognizing when others are trying to influence you, it also helps you communicate more effectively, whether in sales, leadership, or personal relationships. What makes persuasion effective? Elliot Aronson highlights three main factors that make a persuasive message successful. Credibility of the source. Emotional appeal. Alignment with values and beliefs. Let's break these down with real-life examples. 1. Credibility of the source, why we trust some people more than others. The credibility of the person or organization delivering the message plays a huge role in persuasion. We are more likely to believe someone who is perceived as knowledgeable, trustworthy, and authoritative. For example, if a doctor says smoking is harmful, most people will believe them instantly because doctors are seen as experts in health. However, if a random person on the street tells you the same thing, you might not take it as seriously. This is why companies use expert endorsements in advertising. Skincare brands hire dermatologists, fitness products feature personal trainers, and technology companies showcase engineers discussing their innovations. Case study: during the COVID-19 pandemic, people were more likely to follow health guidelines when recommendations came from medical professionals rather than politicians or celebrities. How to use this knowledge? If you want to persuade someone, establish your credibility first. Provide evidence or credentials to support your argument. Reference experts to strengthen your message. 2. Emotional appeal, why feelings matter more than facts. Logical arguments are important, but emotions are even more powerful in persuasion. People often make decisions based on how they feel rather than pure logic. This is why advertisements and speeches frequently use stories, vivid imagery, and personal experiences. Consider 2 anti-smoking campaigns. One simply lists the health risks of smoking. Another shows a heart-wrenching story of a mother who lost her son to lung cancer. Which one do you think will have a stronger impact? The second one, because it engages emotions like sadness and fear. Studies show that messages tied to fear, happiness, or empathy are more likely to change people's attitudes. Example in advertising: insurance companies don't just list benefits, they show emotional scenes of families staying safe and secure. Example in politics: politicians use personal stories of struggling citizens to gain support for policies. How to use this knowledge? If you want to persuade someone, connect emotionally. Use storytelling, vivid imagery, and relatable experiences. Make the audience feel something rather than just presenting facts. 3. Alignment with values and beliefs, the power of personal connection. People are more likely to accept a persuasive message if it aligns with their existing beliefs and values. If a message completely contradicts what someone already believes, they may resist or reject it, even if it's backed by facts. This is why political campaigns, social movements, and brands tailor their messages to resonate with specific audiences. Example: if you want to convince someone to eat a vegetarian diet, a health-conscious person may respond best to arguments about health benefits, while an animal lover may respond more to ethical concerns about animal cruelty. Example in marketing: Apple doesn't just sell products, it promotes a vision of creativity and innovation, which aligns with the values of its target audience. How to use this knowledge? Know your audience's beliefs and values before trying to persuade them. Frame your message in a way that aligns with their worldview. Avoid directly attacking their existing beliefs, instead, find common ground. Real-world applications of persuasion. Understanding how persuasion works can help in many areas of life. Heavy checkmark marketing and advertising. Companies use persuasive techniques to sell products. Heavy checkmark politics and social movements. Leaders persuade people to support policies or movements. Heavy checkmark personal communication. Whether convincing a friend to watch a movie or negotiating a salary, persuasion is everywhere. Final thought: can you resist persuasion? Now that you understand how persuasion works, you might wonder, can we resist it? While being aware of these techniques helps, the truth is that persuasion is incredibly powerful. Even when we think we're making independent decisions, our choices are often influenced by the messages we encounter daily. So next time you see an ad, listen to a speech, or hear a friend making a compelling argument, pause and ask yourself, Is this person credible? Are they using emotions to persuade me? Does this message align with my values, or am I being subtly influenced?